Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be working with the mute buttons. So as you can see, now our mute buttons work, and when we have something muted there's a visual effect showing that it's muted. Okay. So to start we're going to go into our globals folder, then we're going to open up our options script, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll down up until you get to your process function. And then in your process function where we have our if statement where we control our master volume and our music volume. So our play music if statement, press enter. Then we're going to put in a new if statement. So if master mute equals true, or music mute equals true, play music equals 1. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're first seeing if we have our master volume or our music volume above 0, and then we'll set it there. If after we've run that if statement, then we're going to check if we have anything is muted. So our master mute is true or our music mute is true. If either of them are true, our play music will equal 1. Otherwise, if neither are true, then it will run this if statement. So we're going to do the same underneath our play effects. So master mute equals true, or effects mute equals true, and then play effects equals 1, just like that. So now that we have that, we can actually close the script. We don't need to work with it. Now we need to open up our options scene in our menu. So let's quickly open it, and let's close our main scene so we don't accidentally work in there. Okay, now as you can see we've accidentally reopened our global script, so let's close that. And now that we're going to just work in our options script. Okay, so first we're going to create two new variables. So it's going to be var ready equals true, and var ready timer equals 5. Okay, so what these two variables are for is we're going to be able to set it so when you change your slider, any of your volumes, if anything's muted it will automatically unmute it. But we need these two variables because when you load the scene you'll actually have it will just give me a second here. As you can see, it's set it so it changes the volumes. And if we don't have those two variables, what will happen is it will unmute anything that should be muted. So that's why we've got these, just to avoid that. Okay, so next, in our ready function, we just scroll to the bottom. And then all that we're going to do is we're just going to put in 3 if statements. So if options dot master mute equals true, then what we're going to do is it's going to be slider master dot set modulate. I'll explain why we're setting the modulate and that now. So we're going to set the modulate, then we're going to say color, and then it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 0.1, and then 2 brackets, close it. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going back to the 2D viewport so I can show you. So audio. Now as you can see, I've clicked here. In the inspector, just scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see there it says visibility. Click there, and then you'll see something that's called modulate. So if you click there, you'll see here's R, G, B, and A. That was the color that we were working with. So we're keeping our R at 1, our G at 1, our B at 1. That's green. That's red, green, and blue. And then our A stands for alpha. That we changed to 0.1, so it'll be about there. Actually, it'll be a bit higher. So it'll be about there. And then just so it almost is invisible, so that's how you know if it's muted or not. Okay, I'm just resetting it back to max. I'm going back to the script now. And now we need to put in an else statement. So we just say else. What am I doing? Else. And I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. and then we're just going to change the color to 1. So all that we're doing here is we're saying if our master mute equals true, then we're going to make it almost invisible, and if our master mute equals false, then it will be fully visible. Let's actually, just to be on the safe side, let's make it an elif statement, and then just change it to false like that. And now we're just going to copy this, paste this, and paste this. So our second master mute will become music mute. Mute, and just remember you need to change the slider from slider master to slider music, and then in our third options mute, our third master mute will become FX mute, and again we have to change the slider. Okay, so that's everything that we need for our ready function right now. Now we're going to move on to our process function. That's quite simple. Underneath our select timer if statement, just press enter twice. Now we're just going to say if ready timer is larger than 0, then ready timer minus equals 1, and ready equals true, because we want it to remain true as long as it's larger than 0, and then else ready equals false. Okay, so now there's our function, our process function done. Now we're just going to scroll down up until you find your mute master and your master volume. Here we're actually going to do a bit more. So we're first going to create an if statement in our mute master, and in our mute master the new if statement will be if ready equals false, then it will only affect it. Equals false, and what we also need to do is we need to just say, I'm thinking of the wrong thing, it's button, sorry, master mute dot set modulate color 1,1,1,0.1. Okay, so what we're doing here is that whenever you click on it to mute it, it will immediately show the visual effect. I'm just going to copy this line of code, and then underneath where we set master mute to false, I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to change it to 1 so it's fully visible. So there we go, that's everything you need in your mute master. Now in our master volume we're also going to create an if statement, so it's going to be if ready equals false. Now we're going to say, do another if statement, if options dot master mute equals true. Then we're going to set our options master mute to false. I'm just going to paste that code again. We're going to set the opacity to 1, and then that's everything you need for the master volume and the master mute. So all we need to do now is we actually just need to do the exact same for our mute music volume, mute effects, and effects volume, and then we're actually done. So if ready equals false, I forgot to close my brackets, and it's just like that. I'm actually just going to do my mute effects as well. Equals false. Okay, now I'm going to do my music volume. So if equals false, then if options dot music mute equals true, not false. Next, options music mute equals false. Just going to paste that again. I'm going to change it from button master mute. Oh, I've just noticed, I just need to quickly see something. I've just noticed here I've been changing the button master mute, not the slider. We actually want slider master, not button. Sorry about that. And then here this button master is going to become slider music. Let's copy that. Now what we need to do in our mute music, we need to paste that there, paste that there, and then remember just to change your values. And then give me a moment. Okay, so even though we set it for the button, all that would have happened is then our button would have actually gone nearly invisible. So if you want to keep it like that, you can, but personally I think it looks better if the actual slider does that. I don't know why I typed in button, apologies about that. Okay, let's see, that's music volume, we have that. We need to change that back to 1. Slider music, now we need to do our effects. So just paste that there, paste that there. Change the slider music to slider effects. Slider effects. In our, when we set our effects mute to false, then we need to just change our alpha to 1, and then in our effects volume, let's quickly set that up. So if ready equals false. Now if options dot effects mute equals true, dot effects mute equals false, paste that, slider music becomes slider effects, just like that. Let me see. Okay, let's run it quick. Okay, as you can see, it's already showing like that. There's our music. Now it's paused, back, options. There we go. So there's that video. Cool. Now we're done. Thanks, guys.